Xbox continues to make history. They just did something that absolutely nobody expected them to do. And is the coalition about to unveil a brand new IP sometime soon? There's a lot here to talk about, so let's get into it. What is going on, everybody? It's RandAlThor19, the man with the million, back again with another video. I hope everybody is having an incredible day, and if you guys can do me a huge favor, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button, and hit that notification bell if you want to be notified immediately whenever a new video drops from me. Thank you guys so much for all the continued support. You guys are the absolute best. One of the worst things about July is not only is it always incredibly hot here in Chicago, is that the video game news dries up. There's really nothing new to talk about when it comes to Xbox or gaming in general. Xbox actually made history, and that's going to be the big subject matter I want to discuss in this video. Alongside the coalition potentially working on a new IP, we've seen some job listings, and tomorrow the coalition is going to debut their Unreal Engine 5 demo. I believe it's called Alpha Point. Now, will that Alpha Point demo actually become a brand new IP for the coalition that they launch sometime in 2023 or 2024? We're going to discuss that a little bit later on in the video. But first, we absolutely have to talk about how Xbox continues to make history, how in demand the Series X and Series S are. There is still stock shortages that continue to plague all the next generation systems, PlayStation included, which does seem like it might last into maybe next year. And yeah, the headline is Xbox Series X and S actually beats or outsells, or however you want to spin it, the PlayStation 5. And this is absolutely something that nobody expected. I think everybody thought the PlayStation 5, despite the shortages it does have, would constantly beat the Xbox Series consoles, simply because it does seem like the PlayStation 5 is more in demand. But that wasn't the case for June, because the Xbox Series X and S was the highest grossing hardware platform in the US during June in terms of dollar sales, according to the latest report from the NPD Group. June's dollar sales of Xbox consoles set a new record for the Xbox platform, NPD reports, beating the previous high set in June 2011. Now, if you want to get specific, the Switch was the console that won in terms of unit sales, but NPD always breaks it down by unit sales and dollar sales. And when you actually take the Xbox Series consoles and stack them up against PlayStation, it's actually kind of hard for the Xbox Series consoles to win dollar sales. Xbox has two SKUs, the Series X at $500 and the Series S at $300, and the PlayStation 5 has two SKUs, the regular PS5 edition, which is $500, and the digital PS5 edition, which is $100 more expensive than the Series S at $400. So if they sold the same amount of units every single month, the PlayStation 5 would always win when it comes to dollar sales. Well, I guess that wouldn't necessarily be true if Xbox sold all Series X consoles and the PS5 sold all digital consoles. Xbox would win, but you're trying to get what I say. The PlayStation 5's two SKUs, when combined, are more expensive than the Xbox Series X. But when you look at it, what happened here? And everybody will say, you know what, the PlayStation 5, it's doing amazing, right? It is the fastest selling console ever to launch in its first 8 months, which is really impressive. We see the Nintendo Switch continue to kill it, and here we have the Xbox Series console winning in terms of dollar sales. Obviously, people want all the systems if they can get it. All three console platforms are doing amazing, but what happened in June to have the Xbox Series X and S come out on top? Sure, Xbox had more stock available, but I really do think the positive reception to E3 really made a lot of people who were on the fence, a lot of PlayStation gamers, decided, you know what, Xbox has a plan for the future. If you go read a lot of mainstream articles, everybody was really psyched about the roadmap that Xbox showed at E3. And you can tell it paid off because this was the best June ever for Xbox console sales, beating the previous record in June of 2011. So you can tell that people are excited about Xbox's future with all the games that they have planned to come out. Halo Infinite and Forza Horizon 5 and Psychonauts 2, Flight Sim this year. Next year you got Starfield, Redfall, Forza Motorsport, and 2023 is when it really starts to pour on with like Hellblade 2, Avowed, Fable, Perfect Dark. So that combination of excitement that people saw after E3 with Game Pass really starting to blow up, because when you look at it, a lot of detractors of Xbox and Game Pass, when people come out and say, you know what, I think the Series consoles will do better than Xbox One simply because of Game Pass, there'll be a bunch of naysayers and detractors that will say, well, Game Pass didn't help sales of the Xbox One. And that is sort of true, but Game Pass was in its infancy in 2017, 2018, and 2019, and let's be honest, Xbox's exclusive output during that time wasn't the greatest. Xbox Game Pass was just something cool, but it isn't until right now that people are starting to see the potential, because suddenly Xbox has 23 studios. They bought Bethesda. Those games are exclusive, so if you want to play the next Elder Scrolls, that's where you have to be. So during E3, when people saw the roadmap and how incredible Game Pass is starting to get these games launching day one, like Back 4 Blood and Outriders and MLB The Show, and some cool indies like Death's Door, Somerville, and a whole bunch of others, combined with everything from Xbox's first party, everybody takes a step back and is like, whoa, I finally see Xbox's vision here. And Microsoft smartly timed a supply restock so you could take those feelings of actually wanting an Xbox and do something about it. Buy a Series X, buy a Series S online, and get invested into the ecosystem right now. And it's kind of amazing because Xbox hasn't had an exclusive, well, since launch, right? Gears Tactics launched with the console. The Medium came out in January. Xbox is doing this well, and they didn't even have an exclusive game like PlayStation 5 did with Ratchet and Clank. So you can imagine what would happen when Forza Horizon 5 comes out this fall and Halo Infinite, and there's actual stock to buy. People want to own an Xbox Series X. People also want to own a PlayStation 5. It's just the stock shortages that is preventing everybody from buying these consoles. But the big takeaway for me from all this isn't that the Xbox outsold the PS5, even though nobody really expected it. What it says to me is that people really enjoyed the E3 press conference, what Game Pass is doing, Microsoft's exclusives that they have coming this year and next year, and they just want in on the ecosystem, and E3 was that moment for a lot of people, and Microsoft smartly had consoles to buy. So who knows if we'll see Xbox beat the PlayStation 5 again anytime this generation, but this was something that was completely unexpected. And talking about something that might be completely unexpected, it's certainly starting to look like the Gears of War developer, the Coalition, is actually working on a brand new IP. We had reports from Jeff Grubb a couple of months ago that this was a case, that they were working on two projects. A smaller project to get used to Unreal Engine 5 that they would actually kind of release maybe in 2023 or 2024. And then, of course, Gears 6, which is further away. But with all these sort of rumors and speculation, you gotta take everything with a grain of salt, but we might have got some confirmation that this actually might be true. So over on Twitter, my buddy Cloberl posted this LinkedIn profile of a Coalition employee that kind of does hint at them working on a brand new IP. Cloberl says it looks like the Coalition could be working on a new IP alongside Gears of War if this LinkedIn description is accurate. This kind of was hinted at before already as well. So you can see here, it says the Coalition Studio 1 year, and this guy's a level designer on a new IP, been working on it since February of 2021 to present 6 months. Now, I absolutely hope this is true because I have been banging the drums for a while now that I would love to see the Coalition sort of step outside their comfort zone with Gears of War and work on something brand new. They're one of, if not the best Xbox studio. They have been the workhorse, constantly releasing new Gears of War games when everybody else was off doing different things. They are the studio that you can rely on, and they're wizards at Unreal Engine. Now, the employee actually did delete this entry, so who knows if that speaks to this actually being true or false. But either way, I'm really excited about the idea of the Coalition working on a brand new IP after all these years of working just on Gears of War. And tomorrow, they are going to be debuting their Unreal Engine 5 demo called Alpha Point. Could that be an early look at this new IP that everybody seems to be hinting at? I hope so. I'm definitely going to be tuned in to see what the Coalition can do with Unreal Engine, and I absolutely would love it if they were working on a new IP alongside Gears of War. So let me know what you think about all this in the comments below. What do you think about Xbox beating the PS5 for the month of June? And do you want to see a brand new IP from the Coalition? Make sure you let me know in the comments below. And as always, if you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. Hit that notification bell if you want to be notified immediately whenever I drop a new video like this. Please share this out on social media or tell a friend about the channel. And if you want to take your support even further, you can always hit that join button, which will give you access to channel badges and emotes for the Xbox 2 podcast we do every single week with Jez Corden from Windows Central. Thank you guys so much for watching. I truly appreciate each and every one of you that do, and I'll see you in the next video. Later, guys.